Possibilities, Preposterous humor as a catalyst for speculative design, presented by Yonsei Park and Hyunjae Shin. I'll keep time for you, so go ahead and get started.
Hello, my name is Yonsei Park. Today I'll be talking about unlocking possibilities using preposterous humor as a catalyst for speculative design. So my research lies at the intersection of humor and speculative critical design, and today I'll explore how this humorous approach can serve as a powerful tool in speculative critical design. The key question driving this paper is, how does a preposterous humor approach stimulate new ways of thinking and unlock creative possibilities? And what kind of reasoning framework best explains this underlying process? So, have you ever laughed first and then started thinking? That's exactly the spirit of Ig Nobel Prize. Laugh first and then think. It recognizes research that appears absurd initially, but reveals unexpected depth and significance upon closer inspection. Take, for example, Ig Nobel Prize in Physiology last year, as Japanese scientists discovered that certain mammals can absorb oxygen through their butts. While this finding might sound bizarre, it has potential implications for medical treatments in respiratory failure. They won because people laughed at the idea first without concern for immediate practicality. To explore this further, let's break down the nature of preposterous. The absurd refers to something that doesn't align with what we expect or find logical. And the ridiculous takes it a step further. It's something that seems laughable, almost nonsensical at first glance. And then there's the preposterous, which completely flips everything on its head, making something feel so out of place that it seems impossible to take seriously. And preposterous ideas are often dismissed simply because they seem too ridiculous to be taken seriously. But does that mean they have no value? So we see a similar pattern in future studies. The future's cone model outlines probable, plausible, and possible scenarios. And anything beyond these is often deemed impossible and thus ignored, marginalizing preposterous futures that lies outside the cone. However, several researchers are now exploring these outer spaces. Black swan scenarios, for example, are rare, high-impact events that seem impossible until they happen and reshape our reality. These black swan-like preposterous ideas have always existed in creative area. Ideas once dismissed as preposterous often resurface as meaningful innovations, challenging the boundaries of conventional thinking in humorous ways. A well-known example is the selfie stick, introduced in 1995 as a Chindogu invention. It was seen as funny and unnecessary. Back then, the idea of carrying stick just to take a photo seemed laughable. But two decades later, Time magazine recognized it as one of the year's best inventions. This shift shows how absurd ideas can sometimes be ahead of their time, speculating cultural changes before we even realize we need them. Another fascinating example comes from the Better Living catalog by Philip Garner in 1980s. One of his satirical inventions was a personal privacy booth, which seemed comically exaggerated back then. But decades later, similar products now exist for private rest in busy offices. What was once a preposterous humor turned out to be surprisingly relevant. Initially, these ideas, selfie sticks, personal privacy booths, seemed laughable. However, over time, social norms evolved and suddenly they made sense. Now people didn't want to ask strangers to take photos, and personal spaces become more important. So how can we explain these preposterous approach using humor theory? Preposterous ideas often provoke laughter because they feel disconnected from our current reality, and traditional humor theories help explain why, such as incongruity theory, that humor arises when expectations clashes with reality. Also, surprise theory, we laugh when something unexpected catches us off guard. And when these preposterous ideas come closer to becoming a future reality, they prompt us to think, question, and reflect, and engage with their implications. I will call this dual process the preposterous humor approach, and it first detaches us from reality through preposterousness, then draws us back in with critical reflection. The preposterous humor sparks laughter that leads to critical thought, whereas preposterous speculative design prompts reflection that can later elicit laughter. So something more about speculative critical design is that it's not about problem solving, it challenges societal assumptions and explores alternative futures by materializing seemingly preposterous ideas into products and services. One of the key methods in this is what if thinking. It's about expanding possibilities and provoking debates. Unlike conventional design, which asks what and how, this design emphasizes why, reimagining societal ideas and alternative scenarios. This approach encourages designers to adopt unconventional perspectives. For example, a human poo energy future project imagines a future where human waste becomes our main energy source. They created a speculative prototype like a lunchbox that holds food and poop, a deliberately extreme take on circular economy. It's funny yet thought-provoking, making us reconsider the boundaries of sustainability. Here's another example. What if surgical modification became necessary for human survival in response to climate change? This project imagines genetically altered babies with enhanced scallop skin to dissipate heat. At first glance, they seem just unusual looking baby, then raises important questions with satirical laugh. How far we go to adopt? What are the ethical implications? So as we've seen, these ideas became more impactful when they are turned into prototypes and given context through narratives. I call this approach proto-narratyping, a method that combines material speculation with storytelling, helping audiences connect observed concepts to real-life scenarios. So both examples follow a similar framework, start with a real-world issue, and uses what if to propose a preposterous concept and bring it closer to reality through proto-narratyping. So while this type of speculative critical design does acknowledge humor, however, it rarely examines implicitly humor-driven cases. So to strengthen this framework, I explored two cases that actively use humor, examining how they imagine scenarios and bring them closer to reality. So these are not traditional speculative design, but also come from digital platforms with user-generated contents on Instagram and YouTube's. So first case is Idea Bobusang. They are a creative group on Instagram that twist everyday concepts through humorous products and comic-style storytelling. Their work interprets familiar cultural phenomena by shifting them into new context. And these ideas are presented with realistic visuals like ad-style captions and making them feel like actual commercial offerings. So what if movie theaters embraced live stream chat culture? This live chat movie theater playfully critiques the evolving nature of media consumption by imagining a future where audience can chat in a real time right on big screen. It questions traditional cinematic etiquette and reflects on how communal media experiences might evolve. And what if books evolved 1-minute reads for our fragmented attention spans? Short books playfully imagines a future where books are ultra condensed into a quick 1-minute reads, perfect for a scrolling generation. This comic exaggerates a real trend of shortened contents and prompting us to ask, are we making information more accessible or losing the capacity for deeper engagement? Another example is what if public transit adopted premium services? So imagine a situation where subway systems introduce premium reserved seatings. Complete with a mood lighting and personalized amenities, and even an escort system to your stop. So by exaggerating this privatization of mobility, this scenarios humorously critiques the inflation of capitalistic logic into public infrastructure. The second case is a KIKservice, a Korean YouTube comedy channel exploring speculative future through outrageous humor. Their future series presents a life in 10 years ahead with the short sketch comedies. They took inspiration from post-COVID trends of unmanned cafes and convenience stores in South Korea and imagined what if unmanned stores expanded to hair salons. In the sketch, customers cut and wash their own hair in a fully automated salon. And with the rise of sharing economy, they ask, what if sharing services extended to every aspect of life, such as wine openers, clothes, and even friends? It critiques a world where pushing the sharing economy to a ridiculous extreme. And what if smartphone cameras keep multiplying or shrinking in size to absurd degree? They explore this humorous possibility with iPhone that has 37 camera lenses, while Samsung Galaxy ZZZ flip phone folds infinitely. This exaggerated vision satirized the smartphone industry, relentless push for more cameras and extreme compactness, questioning whether these upgrades actually improve user experience or simply fuel unnecessary consumptions. So by exaggerating their current trends, they go beyond entertainment, using humor as a tool for critical reflection on societal and technological shift. So if we break down this framework, we can ask what kind of thinking process underlies the what-if imagination and proto-narratyping process. The what-if question operates on abductive thinking, and unlike deduction or induction, abduction thinking suggests what might be, using imagination to explore hidden possibilities. And proto-narratyping works through retroduction. It's a reasoning process that materializes speculative ideas by bringing abstract possibilities into a tangible or experiential form, and prompting audiences to engage critically as if they already exist. Moreover, public engagement in humorous speculative content demonstrates critical engagement by immediate audience reactions through online engagement. Viewers can extend the discussion and propose additional insightful ideas. When speculative absurdity coexists with reality, it creates a critical engagement, a moment where we pause and wonder whether we are facing a mere joke or an actual possibility. These what-if moments disrupt passive active acceptance and provoke deeper questions. So this study explored how preposterous humor-driven creations activate critical thinking and creativity through unique thinking process. So this isn't about predicting the future, it's about critiquing the present. And by stretching reality to its preposterous extreme, we uncover the hidden assumptions driving technological and societal change.
You have 5 minutes
And
left.
Oh, okay. And future work should investigate more diverse cultural context and examine audience responses in detail. And as online discussions can reveal how humor drives secondary abductive thinking and retroduction. So ultimately, this paper argues that by embracing the ridiculous, absurd, and preposterous approach, we open new pathways for creativity, critical thinking, and possibilities for tomorrows. And most importantly, humor makes speculation engaging and accessible, inviting broader audience to reflect, question, and reimagine what might come next. Thank you, and I look forward for your questions.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
we do have time for questions. You can put your questions in the chat or use the raise hand feature on Zoom.
What's your source? Oops. What's your source for the cone representation of the probable, plausible distinction?
I'll put up my screen again. Let's where'd it go? Sorry. Yes, actually it's from the future studies. We use it to explain. I'll go up. It's right here.
Mm-hmm.
So this cone is from originated from Voros, who was a futurist, and we've been using this framework to explain as we go into the future, our possibilities would expand. So we mostly just think about probable future, but we have to think different futures like plausible future and possible futures. And among these different kinds of future, we try to find our preferable futures within these possibilities. But what I'm trying to say through my research is that we should also look outside of this possibility, something that's preposterous. That's something we rarely consider when we think about our futures.
What made this intriguing for me, and thanks for the clarification, what made this intriguing for me, and it's a minor point, but it's a moment of great minds. If you go to Raskin 1985, he uses the same labels on different degrees of script oppositions. So there's a direct connection to humor that you might want to explore there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's like there's a comment in the chat, not a question, but an add-on topic. Soren Iverson is a product designer every day on X. He shows a humorous, preposterous design for entertainment, but also to promote his skill set.
Again with the references.
Sorry, I didn't hear your last comment.
Could you share the slide with the references again?
Oh, okay.
Because it flashed by.
Any further questions from anyone?